Hello, friends. My name is Holly, and tonight I am here to give you guys a little bit of a give back to you in the form of movement and yoga. So, just a short introduction. My name is Holly Carr. Natalie is my skin guru, and I am a yoga instructor, personal trainer, mobility expert, nutrition coach, and have my own activewear business as well. So I'm really excited, and I'm going to bring you guys a little bit of movement to make our body feel good, to make us feel good, to put us in a place mentally. It's just going to be like a short 25-30 minutes. So grab any spot in your house. As I warm up, I will unlayer things, but it's a little chilly down here. So find any space that you have at home. You don't have to have a block. If you want to sit on a block, you certainly can, but by no means do you have to. You just want to try to find a posture that is not slouched, but comfortable, where you're not rounding your shoulders forward, but you're not to the point that you can't breathe. So your hands can go anywhere. To start off, usually with yoga, I like to just do a little bit of movement, maybe roll my shoulders a little bit, maybe move one arm, maybe move the other, and just start off by moving my body a little bit, because sometimes it's uncomfortable for us to just go right down into everybody being relaxed. Sometimes there's kids around too, and we got to get them to chill out and relax, and sometimes when we do that with movement, it makes us feel like, oh, okay, now I'm a little bit more relaxed. So you're just going to find a comfortable seat for you and just get a little bit of the pre-jitters out. Palms can be up or palms can be down. It's completely up to you. And you can take these first few breaths to really, before you even close your eyes, to just get comfortable with yourself and your surroundings and where you're at. So take a deep breath in through your nose. Exhale out through your mouth. And as you take these first few breaths, your eyes can just gently close whenever you're ready. But I want you to notice just how deep of a breath you can take. If you're feeling a little bit anxious about doing yoga, don't feel that way at all. It will be super easy to move, and you'll move with your breath. But did you notice if you're a little anxious and your breath's a little short? Are you noticing if your breath is going down into your belly? And just notice as you take each inhale and exhale, how you can lengthen your breath out, how you start to relax into your space, into your body. And you just start to feel a little bit more like yourself. So deep breath in through your nose. Take a really long inhale and fill up your lungs. Exhale out through your mouth. Make it very slow, maybe a count or two longer than your inhale. So if you're not sure how to do that, think inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Hold your breath. Exhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. In for 6 or 7, out for 8 or 9. And as you start to just count the inhales and exhales, you start to notice that your shoulders come down from your ears. You get a little bit more comfortable, and your sit bones are on your block or wherever you're seated. And you just start to feel a little bit more comfortable and relaxed and calm in your space. You start to notice that your breath isn't as choppy, that you can give a little bit back to yourself by just taking 20, 30 minutes out of your day, even 15, to just allow yourself to just simply breathe, get in tune with your breath, and relax your body. Even if you have 5 minutes a day, you can find little spaces of time to just simply give back to yourself because of all the giving that you're giving out to everyone else in the world right now. Deep breath in through your nose. Exhale out through your mouth. And as we start to settle into our breath, we start from the crown of our head and just do a little scan from the crown of our head all the way to the tip of your toes. And just noticing what feels awesome and amazing, what might need a little attention, areas that you might need to focus while you're moving in and out of poses to keep your shoulders down from your ears, to relax your jaw, relax your face, or maybe it's to relax your toes. Deep breath in through your nose. Exhale out through your mouth. Find 3 more deep inhales and exhales on your own. And then once you get to the exhale on that 3rd breath, you just slowly open your eyes. You might feel a little warmer. You might feel a lot more relaxed. So it's just something simple like that. Bring your block to the side if you have one. And what we're going to do is we're going to bring ourselves into a tabletop position. And we're going to do some moves today that are pretty basic, but just good to move our body to feel like, yeah, we feel awesome, and just to give back to ourselves. So I'm in a neutral position with my wrist, elbow, shoulder, and then my knee and my hip in alignment. And I'm going to press up into that scared cat. And then I'm going to come back to a neutral position. So if you have low back pain, this is one where you want to think less about going down into cow, because that can cause pain in your low back, and keeping it neutral and just bringing a little squeeze to the shoulder blades and then back to neutral and then back up to a cow. So just allowing yourself, wherever level you're at, where it's not causing you pain. So allowing yourself to just simply breathe and move and press up like a cat and relax your head and neck. And then I'm going to bring it back to neutral. I'm going to bring my knees wide. I'm going to have my big toes to touch. I'm going to slide my hands forward, and I'm going to find a nice little child's pose. And I'm just going to gently move my hips from side to side and just allow myself to really just find a good position. I am going to think about keeping my ribs in, not overarching my back, and pushing my hips back towards my heels. So finding a nice stretch, even up through my arms. And then I'm going to bring it back just slightly. I'm going to bring my knees back underneath me. I'm going to step my hands forward maybe half a step. I'm going to curl my toes, and I'm going to push my hips up and back, and I'm going to walk out my first down dog. So I'm just going to see how this feels. I'm going to think about finding that stretch in my hamstrings and keeping my ribs in. So I might come forward into a plank and then press my hips back towards the back of the room. So I'm trying to make a triangle with my body. And then I'm gently picking up one foot and the other foot, bending one, straightening one, because it allows me to kind of like find a nice stretch in the legs. So I'm going to bend my knees. I'm going to look at my hands. I'm going to step, I'm going to hop, I'm going to jump, I'm going to float. Whatever I need to do. If I need a block, I'm going to have a block here. And I'm just going to gently bend the leg, straighten the leg, and just check in at my hips and see how they feel. And just allow myself to move and breathe. And check in. That's the most important thing. We just want to check in. Now I'm going to bend my knees. I'm going to ground into my feet. I'm going to roll myself to standing, gentle little squeeze right in that glute just to get my pelvis in line. I'm going to bring my arms up, and I'm going to move my arms side to side. I might move my body a little bit. I might roll all the way around. Now I'm getting warm, so I might be able to now take off this crazy sweatshirt that is really warm and kept me warm. So I'm just gonna move as it feels good to me, okay? So we're just gonna move our body a little bit, and it's gonna feel good. So I'm gonna come to the top of my mat. I'm gonna inhale, take a deep breath. I'm gonna exhale, I'm gonna fold it down. Now, if I need a block, I'm gonna use a block. If I need to bend my knees and alternate back and forth between the two to open up those hips, I certainly can. We're just gonna take it nice and slow, get a nice little stretch in our hips and our shoulders. So I'm gonna come up, legs are gonna go straight, fingertips are gonna come to my shins, and I'm gonna lengthen out. So I'm gonna find a nice stretch down my hamstrings. But then I'm also going to keep my ribs in and press against my shins and find a nice length through the top of the crown of my head. My gaze is to the floor. I'm going to plant my hands down. I'm going to step back, hop back, jump back. I can always go knee down if I need to. And I'm going to lower it all the way down to the floor. So this is where I want to, if I'm going to do either a Sphinx pose, if I have low back pain, where I'm going to press into my forearms. I'm going to keep my ribs in. And I'm going to lengthen it up. Now I'm lengthening out through my toes. If I want a little bit more, I can use my hands a little bit lower down. Shoulders are back, ribs are in. I bring it up and I lengthen up. I could do a baby cobra or I could do a full-on up dog. Now I keep my pelvis on the floor just because I get a nice stretch. I don't want my shoulders rounded forward, so I want to bring them back. And then I'm going to curl my toes. I'm going to bring my hips up and back and find my down dog and walk it out. I can even lift a hand up. It just depends what feels good to me. Now, we're not going to do anything special. We're just going to bring our knees down and we're going to bring our right leg up in front of us. So my right leg is going to be, my right foot is going to be by my right hand. And I'm going to relax my back foot. So I'm going to first stand up where I'm like in a half kneeling position. And I think about having nice length up. So what I'm doing is I have a nice little slight angle in my front shin. And I'm going to drive my left hip towards the floor, but I'm not overarching my back. And I'm going to try to line up my right knee with my right heel. And I'm going to think about grounding into my big toe. But notice how I have length up through my body and I'm not over like this. So if I needed a block, I could have a block here, using that block to lengthen myself up and drive that hip down while I'm protecting my low back, and then grounding into my big toe. So I'm finding a nice low lunge stretch in the hips. I'm thinking about taking a deep breath in through my nose. Exhale out through my mouth. And we're not forcing into the stretch. So if I need to get out of the stretch a little bit, I can. And then think about body position. Body position is important. Finding the edge of that stretch is important and not going further than we need to. It might come out a little bit and then go back and do it one more time. Now to move, I'm gonna go for the opposite hamstring on my right leg. So what I'm gonna do is hinge back my left hip, bring up my toes, but keep my heel planted. And then I'm simply gonna find the stretch here. I could have a little bend in the knee, that's perfectly okay. Whatever feels good to you, I'm keeping my ribs in so my back isn't arched like this and overarched. So keeping my ribs in and finding and isolating the stretch in my hamstring. I like to use a block. It's completely up to you. But just go back and forth a few times, finding this stretch. And it starts to loosen up as you start to connect your breath to it. So the fancy move we're going to do is bring this leg back behind us. We're going to curl our toes and we're going to find a down dog again. And we're going to walk it out and see if we notice a little bit of difference between our right leg and our left. Now the importance here is thinking about connecting your breath to your movement. So we're going to bring this leg down. We're going to bring the left leg forward. So I have a block. I'm going to relax my back foot. A slight angle in my front shin. I'm going to lengthen up first. And then I'm going to drive down my right hip as I line up my left knee with my left heel. And I get a deep stretch in my right hip. Shoulders are back, nice and tall, using my block. and thinking about breathing. So deep breath in through your nose. Exhale out to your mouth. You may have noticed your breath went a lot choppier again. It may not have. You just want to think about, it might be the level of the stretch you're at. You might need to back off the stretch a little bit and then come back into it. So sometimes what I'll do is I'll take a deep breath in and then I'll exhale as I get into that position. Now, as I'm ready, I'm going to take a deep breath. I'm going to hinge back my hip, and then I'm going to come up onto the heel and lift my toes and find a stretch down my hamstring. I'm keeping my ribs in, and I'm finding the edge of that stretch. And just giving back to your body. So listening to what your body is saying. If your body is like, ooh, I need you to breathe right there. I need you to take a little time to just take a deep breath in, exhale out. It's the little things that we do for our body that keeps our body doing things for us. And you might notice you need one more than the other. And all I'm doing is hinging hip back to find the left hamstring, and then coming back forward and finding the right hip flexor. So just getting those hips to open up a little bit. Now we're going to bring it back where we can bring that leg back behind us. We might hip circle 1 or 2 times on each side, and then we're going to find our down dog again. So we're going to curl our toes. We're going to bring our hips up and back. We're going to walk it out. So I'm pressing through the palm of my hands. And I'm just gently moving and keeping a nice line with my body. And then I'm going to bend my knees. I'm going to look at my hands. I'm going to step, hop, jump, float. Fingertips to shins, lengthen up. So shoulders back and down, ribs stay in, stretches in the hamstrings. Exhale and fold. Use a block if you need. Take a deep breath here. Bend if you need. If you're feeling flexible, just grab the back of your calves. You can even have your finger, you can have your hands in a fist. Then bend both your knees, ground into the floor, roll yourself all the way to standing gentle, little squeeze, bring it all the way up. Maybe it's a little mini back bend, maybe it's side to side, maybe you're rolling it all the way around. Whatever feels good to you. Then exhale, we're going to fold it back down. Bend and move if it feels good. Then legs come straight, fingertips to shins. We're going to lengthen up, shoulders back, ribs in. Find length from the crown of your head to the tip of your tail. And your tail all the way down to the glute, grounding into your heels. Plant your hands, step back, hop back, jump back, high to low. You can always come to knees. Sphinx pose, baby cobra, full on up dog. Shoulders back and down, lengthening back through the toes. Meet me in down dog. Walk it out. Now, I'm going to, however I want to get it there, I'm going to come to a 3-legged dog. So I like to bring my knee in, and then I bring my leg high to the sky. I step my hand back a little bit so I can get down into the heel of the left. Goal is going to be get your right foot to your hands, however you can get it there. And then, so you're in a high lunge. I want you to bend your back knee. And then I want you to ground into your entire right foot and heel and rise yourself up. So you might need to adjust a little. If you have something to hold on to, you can too. So I'm like coming forward. I want to bend that back knee again. I might step it up a little bit. And then I'm going to gently squeeze my glute. I'm going to lengthen up. And then I'm going to lengthen my heel back, but I'm not going to touch my heel. So I get a deep stretch in that right hip. I'm holding on to something over here. And what I'm going to do is maybe if I want to get a little deeper, I'm going to shimmy in, down, back that back foot down. I'm going to keep my ribs in so I'm not overarching my back. If I need to bend my knee at any point, I can. If I want to bring my arms up, I can. If I want to keep them at heart center, I can. If I want to distract myself, I can come here. I can come here. I can come wherever I need to go. Bend that back knee if you need a little less pressure off the hip. And then I'm going to place my hands back down. I'm going to bring my right foot back. I'm going to walk it out. Because my left hip might be a little like, woo. Okay, so now I'm going to come to three-legged dog again. Then I'm going to bring that left leg high to the sky. I'm going to square my hips to the mat. I step my foot back a little bit just so I have a little bit more heel down of the right. Now I'm going to bring my left foot in and up to my chest, to my hands. And we're high lunging again. So if we need to adjust our feet, we certainly can. I just want to make sure that my heel is directly underneath me. So when I rise up, and I can even use a block to come here. Now when I get here, because it is a bit of a balance, you have train tracked feet. And I want to fix my pelvis. So I'm going to bend my knee. I'm going to squeeze my glute so my right quad fires. And I'm going to lengthen up while keeping this position here. And then I'm going to take a deep breath. I'm going to exhale, and I'm going to send my heel towards the floor, but I'm not going to touch my heel on the floor. So it's close, but it is not touching. My hips are squared forward towards me. My torso is nice and tall. If I need to adjust this, I can certainly bend my knee, come back into it, have something to hold on to, because something to hold on to makes this a little easier. Now, I can also shimmy my toe back a little bit to get a little deeper into the front knee. I can bring my arms up above me. I can keep them at heart center. I can bring them forward and then bring them out. And I'm getting a stretch in that back knee. If I need to bend that back knee, I can. If I want to make it a little bit more challenging, I can. Or I can just chill. Now bring your hands down to heart center. Bring your hands all the way down to your mat. Bring that left leg back. Walk it out. Press through your hands. Take a deep breath into your nose. Exhale. Come forward into a plank. Lower yourself all the way down. You can always come to knees. Take a deep breath in. Exhale out. On your next inhale, come up to Sphinx, baby Cobra, or full-on up dog. Curl your toes. Meet me back in down dog. Keep your ribs in. Tuck your tail under. Send your hips towards the back of the room. Bend and move as much as you need to. Ground into your fingers. Now we're going to bring our right leg high to the sky again. And we're going to bring our right foot up to our hands. Now from here in this high lunge-ish position, I'm going to go ahead and drop my back heel down. I'm going to take my right hand to the inside of my right foot. I'm going to bend my left knee and I'm going to walk my hands just directly underneath me, and then I'm going to lengthen myself up. So I'm about heel to arch. My hips are coming up to you. What I'm going to do is my legs are straight right now. And I might slide my heel back. I might turn my toe out a little bit. So I want my hips open here. I'm going to drop my knee down in line with my right knee up with my right heel. I'm not pushing my butt out. I'm keeping it nice and tall right here. So if I had a string, that string would just pull right here. Okay? And my whole foot in the back on my left is staying on the ground, so including my pinky toes. So we're going to start here. And we're going to get into a warrior two, just like this. Imagine that string. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to lower that knee down to keep my ribs in, tuck my tail, squeeze my butt, come right here, shoulders back and down. Gazes over fingertips, no wiggly arms, nice and strong. I'm going to bring my right arm down to my right knee. I'm going to keep that arm engaged. I'm going to bring that left arm up overhead. I'm going to gaze at it with my fingertips. I'm going to ground into my back pinky toe. I'm going to breathe. I'm going to bring that right arm, left arm straight up. I'm going to take my fingertips to my right. I'm going to lengthen my right leg straight into a triangle with my fingers on my knee. I could bring it to the floor. I'm a little short, so I tend to stay here. And then I'm going to bend my knees slightly, bring it back up, find one more warrior. Woo. Pinwheel my hands, turn my back foot, walk it out. Walk it out. Come forward into a plank. Lower it all the way down. Sphinx, Cobra, baby up dog, baby up dog. Baby Cobra or full on up dog, shoulders back. Lengthening my legs back. Woo. Now, show you from left to I to switch positions. So get your left leg high to the sky. And then bring that left leg up and through your chest. Okay, so you're going to turn your low lunge-ish. You're going to turn the big toe onto the back foot. You're going to drop it. I'll show you from this position. So if you look at your left foot, your left heel is about lined up with your right arch. I'm going to take my left hand to the inside of my left foot. I'm going to bend my right knee. I'm going to walk myself like a spider to the center. I'm going to bring my hands up. I'm going to bring it up here. So if you're seeing me from this position, I'm about heel to arch my knees. I want my hips open to the lights back here. I'm going to slide my heel back and then slide my toes back. And I'm straight-legged. So from here, I'm going to imagine that string is just right there. Notice I'm not doing this. Okay, so think about dropping straight down. You feel this in the inner thighs. So if I wanted this a little bit deeper, I could shimmy my legs out. Right here. Right here. Keep everything nice and tall, just like that string. Okay, from here, we're going to lower it down. We're going to bring the arms up. So notice I'm not leaning forward. I'm keeping myself lengthening tall, using those inner thighs. Shoulders are back and down, arms are strong. Gaze is over fingertips. And come in and out of it as you need. Bring your left arm down to your bent, to your left knee. Engage that arm. Bring that right arm up and over. So you're lengthening from the fingers of the right all the way down to the fingers of the left or right toes. And using that elbow to keep yourself up. So you're going to bring that right arm straight up to the ceiling. You're going to take your fingertips to your shin. You're going to lengthen your legs straight. And you might slide your hand down to your ankle, keeping everything nice and in line like it was. Bend that front knee when you're ready. Bring your elbow back up. Bring your hand back. Try to find your warrior. Ooh, my warrior is really, really wide. Then pinwheel your hands. Bring that foot back. Walk it out. Deep breath in. Bring it forward to a plank. Lower it down. Find that Sphinx pose. Baby Cobra, full on up dog. Bring those shoulders back and down. Lengthen those toes out. Bring yourself back up to a tabletop. Bring your knees wide. Bring your toes, big toes to touch. Slide it back. Gentle little child's pose. Deep breath into your nose. Exhale out to your mouth. And just allow those hips to move a little bit, sway from side to side. Keep your ribs in, take a deep breath into your nose. Exhale out to your mouth. And just take a few minutes to breathe. Into your nose, out your mouth. Slowly start to bring yourself back up to a tabletop. Maybe you cat-cow, maybe you just cat. Walk your hands forward one step, curl your toes, bring your hips up and back. Find that down dog. Notice how your hips feel. Notice how your low back feels, your hamstrings. Walk your legs out if it feels good. Bend your knees, gaze goes forward, step, hop, jump, float. Fingertips to shins, we're going to lengthen up, shoulders back, ribs in, stretches in the hamstrings if we can find it. Exhale and fold. You can use a block, you can bend a knee, you can straighten a leg, you can keep both straight and grab the back of your calves. And then ground into the floor, roll yourself all the way to standing, gentle little squeeze, and go where you want to go. Okay, we are going to do a balance pose because balance is important. And since we rocked out a really awesome warrior, I think we're going to do warrior 3. So there's a couple ways you can do this. If you have something to hold on to, you can definitely use it to take a little bit of the balance out of it so you can focus more on body position and then you can work into balance. Now, one thing I want to point out about warrior 3s is because a lot of times I see rounded shoulders when we get there. And you want to think about if I was standing just like this, nice and tall, a little gentle squeeze, so I'm not overarched like this, right? So I want a gentle little squeeze. So if I'm standing nice and tall, everything's stacked, right? I'm going to look the same way when I go into a warrior 3. So let me show you first how we full on do a warrior 3, then I'll show you modifications. So I'm going to put my foot in the center. I'm going to think about my big toe, my pinky toe in the center of my heel. I'm going to evenly put my weight across that. I'm going to think about little gentle squeeze in my glute, keeping my ribs in, lifting up one leg. So what I'm going to do is lengthen my arm. Think about Superman, right? So I'm going to try to lock out my right leg. I'm going to hinge my hip back, and if I need a little bend in my right knee, I can. I'm going to ground into that big toe, pinky toe, center of my heel. I'm going to lengthen my leg back and point my toe, and I'm going to lengthen my hands forward. I can be full on palms down. I can be thumbs to the ceiling. And you just want to think about if I came from this position, because I got to rest for a minute, I don't want to be like this, okay? So I want to think about lengthening and staying on my whole foot. And then coming back. So I would naturally have a little bit of arch. You just don't want to look like where you're having low back pain. If you need to hold on to something, let me show you this. See, I'm don't want to be really close to it. I want to be able to reach for this. So I'm going to do all the same things I just did. Now, if you want to practice your warrior 3 without anything, you go ahead and start to practice. So you think about squeezing our butt here, lifting a leg. I'm going to push my hip back. I'm going to reach for this. And now, this is where I can find balance in my foot. I can keep my ribs in. I can keep my back in a neutral position. And I can lengthen my toe out. So even holding on just for one thing allows me to take a lot of the balance out of it, but it also allows me to get into a really good body position. So it's a way to practice. So you can practice with that one, and you can simply do this one here too. Now, I like to challenge myself. So I like to go from things like this to maybe this. And then I try to challenge myself to bring it back the exact same way. And then maybe I play around and go with other poses. But it just kind of depends what I want to do. So I'm going to go my other leg. So you can practice both sides. You can do one at a time. You can take your time with this. You can pause it and do it with the whole family. You can find something to hold on to, okay? So I'm going to put my left leg underneath me. I'm going to gently squeeze my glute. So gently, so I can still breathe. It's not so solid. It's just a
Little gentle squeeze, my pelvis just comes in line. Big toe, pinky toe, center of my heel. Keep my ribs in. And I think about breathing and focusing on something that's not moving and finding length down my body. Shake my leg out when I need to. Let's try that one more time. Deep breath in. Exhale out. And sometimes you turn it into a tree, you can turn it into all sorts of things. So take a deep breath in through your nose. Exhale, fold it forward. Relax your head and neck. Maybe you're grabbing the back of the calves. Maybe you're ragdolling your arms. Then come fingertips to shins. We're going to lengthen up. So shoulders back and down, gazes to the floor. Then plant your hands, step back, hop back, jump back, high to low. Find that up dog, that cobra, whatever feels good to your body today. And remember, we're giving back to our body by moving and breathing and connecting. So bring your knees down to your mat, bring them wide, big toes to touch, slide it all the way back, find that child's pose, bring your head and neck down. Gently move those hips and just simply take a few moments to breathe. Deep breath into your nose. Exhale out through your mouth. And just simply breathe. Deep breath into your nose. Exhale out through your mouth. Slowly start to bring yourself back up. Curl your toes. Find one more down dog. Bring it back forward. Lower yourself into a plank. Lower yourself down. Find one more up dog, one more cobra, one more whatever feels good to your low back. And then bring it back into a child's pose once more. And now you have the option to either stay in a child's pose or you can come into a full-on Shavasana where you are on your back. So we're just going to take a little bit of time. So you can either stay in child's pose or you can certainly take up as much space as you want wherever you are. As my goal for you is to just be comfortable, and this should be the pose that you really just relax and let go into. And allow me to just guide you into a little bit of what we call maybe yogic sleep, where you can just simply relax, breathe, and just get all the things in the little tiny bit of breath and movement that we just did. This is going to allow it to all just come together. So you're going to find a space either in child's pose like this or on your back. And you're just going to be palms up and allowing yourself to take up as much space as you want. And as you find that comfortable space, I want you to take a deep breath into your nose. Exhale out to your mouth and let your shoulders come down from your ears. Let your body settle into this space. And allow yourself to be open
to receiving love, kindness, breath from the universe around you. So take a deep breath in through your nose. Exhale out through your mouth. Gently close your eyes if you haven't already. And start to relax your feet, your toes, the soles of your feet. Relax and release your ankles, the front, back, sides of your shins. Even let your kneecaps just sink down a little deeper to your mat. Really letting the weight of your legs and your feet start to settle into the back of your body. Release your thigh bones into the back of your legs. And allow your legs and your feet to be fully supported by the earth that's underneath you. Take a deep breath in through your nose. Exhale out through your mouth. Release that tightness, that grip that we hold in our pelvis, and notice how much more open, relaxed, released your low back, belly. Notice the rise and fall of your breath. Relax the front, back, sides of your ribs. And allow yourself to just take the deepest inhale, expanding your ribs and breathing in. Release your hands. Relax your fingers. Allow your fingertips to naturally just curl towards the palms. Settle into your forearms, elbows, upper arms. And soften your shoulders down from your ears. Release your jaw. Relax your throat. Allow your tongue to rest naturally on the roof of your mouth. And let those little lines we get in our forehead, let those lines relax. Let all the thoughts, the worries, the fears, the to-dos, all the stresses that we keep up in here, let all of those things go, even for a moment. And allow your mind to relax as much as you are allowing your body to. Feel the weight of your body settling in to the back of your body. And feel your body expand. Feel the front and the sides of your body expanding into the air around you. And allow yourself to take up space. Enjoy that spaciousness that you created inside and all around you. And feel that connection you have to yourself, to the earth, and to other people. So breathe in love for yourself, and breathe out love and kindness for others. So take a deep breath all the way down into the belly, and just let everything go. Slowly start to wiggle your fingers and your toes. And with your eyes closed, you can turn yourself to your right or your left side. You can take a moment to just curl up in the fetal position. And then using the arm you're not using as a pillow, you can use it to push yourself all the way back up to a seated position. So take a deep breath in through your nose. Exhale out through your mouth. Notice how much more calm, relaxed, released, how good you feel inside and out. We thank you so very much for doing all the hard work that you've been doing. I appreciate you all for coming and spending a little bit of time with me so I could give you back one of my gifts to each and every one of you. So I hope you had an amazing time. I hope you feel good. I hope you're warm. I hope your body and your mind just feels ready to either start your day or end your evening. So as I end every yoga class, bring our hands to heart center. The light and teacher in me honors the light and teacher in each and every one of you. Namaste. And I hope you all have a beautiful, wonderful day. Bye, guys.